Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Glowing Stitches. If you are new to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. In today's video, we'll be learning how to cut this beautiful flay dress. This is a flay dress and it has a little opening on the waistline. So for this dress, we'll be making use of our Duchess fabric or Duchess material. About 3 yards of Duchess fabric, or you may decide to use silk or any light, depending on what you want. Just make use of any material that is durable and that can fit into this kind of style. But for this tutorial, we'll be making use of this Duchess material. So let's get started. First things, fold your fabric in form of a triangle, shape, like so. Arrange it very well. Make sure it is well placed before marking out your measurements. So that is what I'm trying to do here, trying to arrange carefully and making sure it is well placed. After doing that, move on to your measurements. For this tutorial, we'll be making use of length 46 for this particular gown. So for the waistline or the half length, we'll make use of length 17. Our waist measurement is 36. That's the round waist measurement is 36. So 36 or whatever you have divided by 4 is what we will be marking at this point. So 36 divided by 4 gives us 9. You mark out 9 inches. Mark out 9 inches and add extra 1.5 or 2 inches allowance. So 46 minus the waistline, whatever you have, is what we'll be marking at this point. So this is just the down panel, the flay part of this dress. After doing this, we'll come back to the upper part of the dress. Now let's move on. 46 minus your half length, whatever you have, is what we'll be marking at this point. We have 29. So 29 minus, so we'll be taking out about 7 inches from that 29. You would realize that there is a joining at the down part of the flay. If you look carefully, you see a joining line at that down part. So that joining line should be about 7 inches. Now let me explain. The full length of your gown minus your half length, whatever you have, take out about 7 inches from it. You would realize that the flay gown is not straight on the down part. It's as if it's curvy. The 22 inches will be on the middle part of the front, while the 29 inches will be at the sides of the gown. Now let's mark it on the fabric. Mark out 22 on the middle part, move to the side and mark out 29. I hope you understand. Someone might ask why it is so. Now let me explain better. The full length of your gown minus your half length, whatever you have, is what you mark for the sides, 29 inches. Now for the middle part, which is shorter, take out 7 inches from the 29 inches. That means we did not minus anything from the sides of the gown, but we are still going to add extra 7 inches to make the sides longer. So we took out 7 inches from the middle, but we did not take 7 inches from the side. I hope you understand now. After doing that, connect your lines. Connect your lines in a curvy form, like so. It should look like this after connecting your lines. Clean up your fabric in order to avoid it from scattering. You know this material is kind of silky, and slippery, so you don't want it to get scattered. Pin it up to make it firm before cutting. Note that while cutting, do not cut on the exact line you marked out. Give at least ½ inch extra for the joining allowance. You know we are still going to join that 7 inches we minus out. We are still going to join it to the down part. Now let's move on to the back panel. For the back panel, fold your fabric accordingly and place the front panel on your folded fabric. Leave about 1½ inch extra on the sides for the zipper allowance. After doing that, cut. And after cutting all sides, you would have something like this. Separate the back panel for the zipper allowance and notch the middle point like so. Take that out and bring back the front panel. Now from the middle point, mark down 7 inches and use your ruler to connect a straight line towards the sides like so. Ensure to pin down before cutting. Mark about ½ inch extra upwards so that when cutting, you don't cut on the 7 inches, you cut on the ½ inch extra you marked out for joining. Now take that piece you cut out and place it on another fabric to cut out. Note that you would not cut exactly what you have. Give about ½ inch extra again for joining. The only difference is that you are adding ½ inch extra for joining because we are joining that back to the skirt. Now from the middle point, mark another 7 inches downwards and draw the line. Extend the line by 1 inch and connect it towards the side of the skirt. You would have something like this after connecting the lines. So transfer that shape into a paper and cut out like so. After transferring it on a paper, this is what it looks like. At this point, we will be working with our paper. Now bring out another piece of fabric, fold like so, and place your paper on it, because we'll be needing 2 pieces of that paper. Now let's label up and down.
Please note that you are not cutting exactly the size of the paper. Leave about 5 to 6 inches upwards like so. And at the end of the day, we would pleat down to the size of the paper. Now let's get to our ironing table. Stretch out the fabric with your iron and pleat like so. Pleat in about 1/2 inch like so and iron smoothly. Iron and make it stay firm. You could use your hemming gum to make it stay firm. Please pay attention, watch carefully, and you would understand the magic. After pleating and ironing, you would have something like this. Iron to make it stay firm. Repeat the same process for the second piece, which makes it one for the left hand side and one for the right hand side. Place both pieces together and place your paper on it. Trim off the excesses, leaving at least 1/2 inch allowance for the joining. Please cut carefully and remember that this piece is pleated. Now let's move on to placing it on the front piece of our skirt. Place your paper on it and trace out the lines like so. At this point, I was trying to trace out the lines to make it visible. After doing that, take one of each piece and place on both sides like so. Please ensure to iron. Place carefully. If possible, pin down before you take to your machine to sew. Now for the joining. First of all, join the down side and flip over before joining the other parts of it. Remember that while doing this, you are also ironing. After ironing, fold in 1/2 inch on the other sides and sew. Iron in the 1/2 inch before sewing to make it easy while sewing. Now let's deal with the upper panel of this dress. Fold your paper or fabric into 2 and start by marking out 2 inches from the middle. Rule out the lines and you would have something like this, like a zipper allowance. From that 2 inches, mark out your shoulder, 16 divided by 2. Mark out your armhole, 8 or 9 inches, and rule out the lines. Sorry guys, I didn't realize that my camera was not properly placed, and that's why the view is like this. Now let's move on to marking out our bust point, 11 inches. Yours could be different depending on the size of your bust. Under bust, 14.5 inches and half length, 18 inches. Mark out these lines and rule. And after ruling, you would have something like this. Now let's label bust point, under bust, and half length or waistline. Now let's move on to the circumference of our measurement. Your bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. Your under bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches, and your half length or waistline divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Mark out these lines and rule. Now whatever you have on the waistline, do not include the 2 inches allowance. Transfer that to the length of the top. So I have 10 inches on the waistline. Transfer to the length of the top and add extra 1 inch like so. Extend these lines and rule. Rule and connect it to the upper part like so. Please do not get confused at this point. I just transferred what I have on the waist to add to the length. Now if you add the 2 inches extra for the sewing in allowance, you would have something like this. From the 2 inches on the sides, go in by 4 inches like so. Connect the lines and rule. Now from the sides of that 4 inches you just marked, mark down 1 inch like so. Connect the line and take out the other parts like so. We are going to cut out that part because it's not needed. Now let's move to our neckline. 3.5 for the width and 4 inches for the depth. You could make yours 4 by 4 or 3.5 by 3.5. Don't forget your shoulder slants by 1/2 inch. Connect those lines. Connect those lines and extend your neckline into that 2 inches you marked at the middle. After doing this, you can now cut. Cut out the neckline, cut out the length of this top and cut out the sides from that point. Don't forget to give your shoulder its curve, and after cutting we would have something like this. So this is what we are going to be working with for the front panel. And for the back panel, mark out your basic bodice down towards your waistline or half length. You know we made use of 18 inches half length for the front, so we'll be using that for the back. Include your darts, add your zipper allowance and make the neck higher, cause the back is usually higher than the front. Now place your fabric on fold and transfer your paper measurements to your fabric. Take to your machine to sew after cutting out. And while joining this, join on the 2 inches you marked at the middle. You are joining at this point, these 2 inches. Join on that point and iron. Join from the neck and stop on that 1 inch around the waistline. And after joining on the 2 inches, you would have your actual measurement back. Repeat the same process for the back piece. Fold your fabric into 2 and place your paper measurement on it, then cut out. So this is it. This is what it looks like after cutting. You would have 2 pieces to join your zip. Include your darts and cut out facing for the back and the front, since we are not going to line it. Now this is what it looks like after joining the 2 inches in the front we talked about earlier. Now from the rough edge, join to the other side of the rough edge like so, and leave an open hole of about 1 inch like so. Now take the other hand and pass it through the hole, and you would automatically have this effect. After doing that, join on both sides of the top. Now bring out your skirt and join your band of 3 inches to the waistline. This band is optional for the back. Now let's get to our machine. join your shoulder, that's the back and the front shoulder together. Join your facing, the neck facing, to make your work neat and top stitch. So this is it while I was joining the shoulder by 1/2 inch. This is one of the shoulder. I'm done with that. So move on to the second shoulder, join with 1/2 inch. Make sure the middle point matches each other. And for the side joining, make sure to pin down before joining to make it easy for you. And for your sleeve, you could use a length of about 10 to 11 inches. Measure out your round armhole divided by 4 and then cut out a full round flay. So sorry guys, I would have included the video but I lost it. But if you insist on seeing it, I might just make another video for the sleeve. So after joining every part of this dress, our beautiful gown is ready. I hope we've learned from this. Please like, share and subscribe for more beautiful content like this. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.